Well, good damn afternoon, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Oh, shit. The sky is falling at ESPN. Now, this is here, hold on a second. Let me make sure it ain't all foggy. Now, this is not a total surprise because, what was it, earlier this year? I think it was in January or February of this year, they announced that they were going to lay off 7,000 employees. Now, this is coming from Disney, which is the parent company of ESPN and all that shit. So Disney announced they're laying off 7,000 employees. So when you hear numbers like that, when you hear 7,000 or these huge numbers of employees, you're thinking that it's going to be the people that work at Disneyland or the janitor sweeping up the ESPN building and shit. You never think that in that large number of people that are going to be laid off or fired or whatever, that it's going to be the on-air talent. Well, looks like ESPN went ahead and did that. And some of the names, you've been like, what's the guy? His last name's Everett. I've been watching that guy on ESPN since I was a teenager. Steve Young got let go. Jalen Rose, Keyshawn Johnson. I think it was 20 in total, but the one that really tickles my fancy is Max Kellerman. Max Kellerman is without employment, and as you may or may not know, Max Kellerman and I have a very intimate history together. No, not like that. But he's the reason that I started my YouTube channel. He's the reason that I'm here now with 355,000 subscribers, and thank you very much to every single one of you son bitches. But he's the reason that I did it. He was the SJW straw that broke the conservative camel's back. If you don't know the story, I'll tell you the story. I'm trying to tell you a story. So 5 years ago, as a matter of fact, it was 5 years ago last month on the 18th that I've been on YouTube. So happy birthday to me, huh? So June 18th, 2018, I am in my driveway washing my car. And I have my little Bose speaker. At the time, it was my wife's because she hadn't bought one for me, but I bought one for her. So I got the little Bose speaker there, and it's hooked up to my phone, and I got ESPN on. And it was back when Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman, I think it was a First Take or something. So I'm listening to it. I'm listening to them, and they're talking about the plight of the quote-unquote black quarterback. So like many things that the SJWs and the woke folk like to bitch about, it's old. They were talking about Warren Moon, Doug Williams, Randall Cunningham, these dudes that aren't in the league anymore. And they're talking about how Warren Moon had to go up to Canada and play and all this shit, and they didn't think a black quarterback could do it, and they're always trying to make the black quarterback play another position when they get to the pros and all this shit. And I started thinking, I was like, well, what's league minimum? Hundreds of thousands of dollars. Even if you're riding the bench, if you're riding Pine, you're still getting hundreds of thousands of dollars. So how much credence are we going to lend to you crying like a bitch when you make that kind of money? And it's making, again, when they talk about this shit, it makes black folks look weak. And I was like, you know what? I'm tired of this shit. I'm going to say something because I've been listening to other people who are definitely preaching the same message that I am. But the difference is they just weren't putting they weren't putting the stank on it that I wanted. They weren't saying the words that I wanted said. They weren't giving it what it needed. So I figured, well, shit, I'll do it. I had a history in radio. I used to do. I was on a radio station called 102.5 KDON back in the day. I had a little announcement show in high school. I was class clown. I knew how to talk in front of people. I knew how to articulate myself. So I said, fuck it, I'll do it. Now, if you go to my YouTube page and you look at about, it'll say that I started in like April of 2014, but that's not true. I don't know how the fuck that happened because I never posted a video until that day, June 18th of 2018. Thanks to Max Kellerman. Just crying like a bitch, being the white savior, chock full of that white guilt, just all the poor black quarterback in the fucking NFL. I don't want to hear shit. If you're a starting quarterback in the NFL, shut your mouth. I don't care if you get hit and you got blood coming out of your ears and they put you back on the field, shut the fuck up. So because of Max Kellerman, this is why I'm here today, making another video about Max Kellerman being let go from ESPN. And who is it? Stephen A. Smith. He was talking about how that's messed up. I like Max. We didn't get along on the show, but that doesn't mean I don't like him. And Stephen A. Smith even said, I might be next. And you just might be. So what are they going to do? They're not going to get rid of these shows. They're going to replace them. They're going to replace the Max Kellermans and the Steve Youngs and the Van Gundys and all these people who got fired. Some of them they're probably going to replace. With what? With who? How much of a leftist commie turd are they going to be? Because it can always get worse. You got these folks crying on ESPN about the plight of black folks in America. And why is it always some rich, successful black person telling other black people that they just can't make it? What did Stephen A. Smith say? He said, when white people catch a cold, black people catch pneumonia. Well, if you're stricken with pneumonia, Mr. Stephen A. Smith, I want some. Because you're a multi-fucking millionaire. That's some pretty good pneumonia. But they're always lying to the weak-minded black folk who are going to believe that bullshit, saying no matter what you do. LeBronica James, that 6'9", 260-pound vagina, tells people that no matter what, no matter how rich you get, it's hard being a black man. Well, let me find out. I think you're bullshitting. I don't think you're telling the truth. I think you're a fucking liar. I think as a rich black man in America, hey, that's pretty damn good. But why do they preach that shit? It's almost like they're being paid to. They're being incentivized to push that bullshit message. But there you sit in your house with an Echo, with your expensive foreign cars, your children in private school, the finest suits, filling your belly with the finest foods. Why would you give a fuck what anybody has to say? If you think I don't care what people say about me now, let Jericho Green get rich. Let me get wealthy. There's no unit of measurement that could quantify how little I would give a fuck about what people think about me or people trying to hold me down. Me being a millionaire is holding me down. Fucking hold me down more. Can you call other people to help you come and hold me down? I love it. I've said it before, people, and I'll say it again. I love to see bad shit happening to bad people. All you fuckers pushing this bullshit narrative about America, you need to fail. You need to be punished. But you notice, all the shit they talk about America, all the shit they talked about Trump and his supporters, all the systemic racism, and when white people catch a cold, black people catch pneumonia, we just can't get ahead, and we've been held down since we got here on the slave ships. Every single one of them still live right here in the United States of a goddamn America. Not one of them has left. Not one of them is broadcasting from Canada, eh? Not one of them's over there and I'm in Sweden, ja, Bjergen, because they always bring up some European country or Canada where there's a bunch of white folk. So how come you're not broadcasting from Europe, from overseas somewhere, from Mexico? You know why? Because they're full of shit. Why would you want to stay in a country where no matter how successful you are, you ain't nothing but a Negro? Why would you want to do that? How fucking stupid would you have to have the means to leave and improve your situation, and you don't? So it's no longer about the situation you claim to be in. It's your fucking fault. You got millions of dollars. You can get the fuck out of here and go wherever you want, but you stay somewhere where you get beat down every day. Some people might say that's oh, never mind. They're too sensitive for that word now. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe. Hit that notification bell because every time it rings, a piece of shit lefty cries. Utilize the Linktree link. Get your ass over to JerichoGreen.net. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.